All right, so let's say you find yourself in Bangkok, right?
Right.
You've hit all the usual spots, temples, markets, maybe even been brave enough to try some street food.
Yeah.
But now you're craving something a little different,
Oh,
something with
a little more what?
a little more suds, you know?
Ooh, suds. Okay, sounds like we're talking soapy massage in Bangkok today.
You got it. We're diving deep into the world of soapy massage.
All right.
And let's be real, it's not exactly your typical spa day, right?
Not your average spa day, no.
Our source material for this deep dive is wild. It's a transcript, maybe from some kind of travel vlog or something,
Okay.
and it does not hold back on the details.
I like it. I like it. Lay it on me.
So, no beating around the bush here.
Let's hear it.
What exactly is a Bangkok soapy massage, at least according to our adventurous traveler here?
Yeah, break it down for us.
Well, first things first.
Okay.
Forget those serene images of lavender oil and Enya playing softly in the background.
Got it.
This is a completely different experience. We're
All right.
talking full body massage, but the masseuse uses their entire body covered in this special soapy solution.
Ooh, full body contact massage. That's definitely not what usually springs to mind when you hear massage therapy.
Right.
Makes you curious about the origins, the cultural context, the whole deal.
Absolutely. Our source does mention roots in traditional Thai massage,
Okay.
but even they admit this version is a bit, shall we say, enhanced?
Enhance. Interesting.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about how these practices evolve over time.
Right.
How traditions adapt and get mixed together, especially in a place like Bangkok. I mean, you've got this blend of ancient history, and then, well, let's just say Bangkok's got a reputation for its modern attractions, too.
Exactly. But before we go too far down that rabbit hole of cultural analysis,
Right.
let's get back to the actual experience. So our intrepid explorer,
Yes.
they paint a pretty vivid picture of this whole thing.
Okay.
Apparently, you walk into a parlor and get this, they use this fantastic word, papasan, for the manager who greets you.
Papasan. I love that.
I know. And here's the kicker. You then get to choose your masseuse from a lineup.
Whoa, hold on. A lineup. Like you're picking from a selection.
A lineup. It's all very deliberate.
Wow, that adds a whole other dimension to it, doesn't it? It's not just about the massage anymore. It's about, well, I guess you could say it gives you a sense of, agency. Exactly. That's
Yep.
not something you find at your average spa, you know?
Not at all. And the deliberate design doesn't stop there. Once you've made your choice, you're taken to a private room.
Okay.
But we're not talking about those dimly lit rooms with pan flutes, you know?
Right.
These rooms are decked out,
Yeah.
bathtubs, sometimes even jacuzzis, mood lighting, music, the works.
Okay, so they're really setting a specific mood here. I mean, ambiance is key, right?
100%. And then we come to the main event, or should I say the pre-main event.
Ooh, the anticipation is building.
Right. They call it the bathing ritual.
All right, tell me more.
So it's you and your chosen masseuse in the tub, warm water, that special soapy solution we keep hearing about, lots of gentle cleansing.
Okay.
It's described as super sensual, all about building a connection.
Wow. Ritualistic, sensual, focused on connection. This is fascinating.
It really is.
It's like they're using these very deliberate steps to not only physically prepare for the massage, but also to create a certain atmosphere,
Right.
a sense of intimacy even.
Exactly. It's like they're setting the stage, which definitely makes you wonder what happens when that curtain goes up.
When the bath ends.
Exactly. When the bath ends and the actual massage begins.
Okay, so the bath is over.
Right.
The mood is set. Things are getting a little slippery, as you put it.
Things are getting interesting.
So, what happens next?
Our traveler must share some insights into the actual massage techniques, right?
Oh yeah, they definitely get into the details,
Okay.
describing how the masseuse uses even more of that soapy solution,
Okay.
both on themselves and the client.
And then it's body-to-body contact, gliding, sliding, pressing. They really emphasize that full body aspect.
Got a full body soapy experience.
Wow.
It's uncharted territory compared to, your typical Swedish massage.
Right.
Makes you wonder, what's the point of this technique? Is it just about physical relaxation?
All right.
Or is there something more going on? Something maybe, more sensual?
That's the thing. Our source doesn't really dive into the technical side of the massage,
Yeah.
like pressure points or anything like that. They're more focused on, how should I say, the experiential aspects.
I see. So it's more about the experience, the feeling, than the actual techniques.
Exactly.
Okay.
And speaking of experiences,
Yes.
Our source does not shy away from the fact that happy endings are pretty much a given with these soapy massages.
Ugh. Yeah, there it is. The elephant in the room, or should we say the papasan in the parlor?
Right.
Because it's one thing to talk about these sensual massage techniques,
Sure.
but when you bring sexual services into it,
Yeah.
that adds a whole other layer of, well, complexity to this situation.
It really does. It makes you think, how do we even begin to reconcile this practice with our own ideas about massage,
Right.
about sex work, especially given, the potential for exploitation?
Absolutely. You can't just ignore those aspects.
Right. It's a big deal.
Even if our source kind of glosses over them
Yeah.
to focus on the touristy side of things.
Exactly. So where do we go from here? Like if someone's listening to us and they're intrigued by this whole soapy massage thing,
Okay.
but they also want to be mindful of the ethical implications.
Right. It's a tricky balance.
Yeah. What advice would you give them? Our source does give a few tips on choosing a parlor, but they're pretty surface level, like checking online reviews, comparing prices.
That's a start, I guess, but it's not enough.
Right. A 5-star rating on some website doesn't mean a parlor is treating its workers fairly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to give our listeners a more discerning eye.
Yeah.
Teach them to look deeper.
It's about, like you said, being a more mindful consumer, especially in an environment that's, well, let's just say it's not always so clear-cut.
Exactly. And this is where, those basic tips, check the reviews, compare prices, they just aren't enough.
Right, because a sparkling clean bathroom doesn't necessarily equal ethical treatment of workers.
Exactly. So we need to go beyond the surface. Like our source mentions cleanliness, right?
Right.
And I think that goes beyond just like fresh towels and stuff. It's about transparency in general.
Okay, I like that.
Open communication, a sense that the establishment is, doing things the right way.
So, like, what specifically should someone look for?
Well, for starters, are the prices clearly displayed?
Right.
Is the staff upfront about what's offered? Or is it all like vague language and winks and nods?
Yeah, that makes sense.
A parlor that's open and honest, chances are they're going to be more respectful of their workers,
Yeah.
and their clients.
It's about being a conscious consumer, even in a setting like this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of trying to project a certain image, our source mentions one popular parlor called Poseidon.
Oh, yeah, with the giant Greek god statue out front.
That's the one. So they're clearly going for a certain vibe.
It's interesting how even something like a soapy massage can be a reflection of these larger cultural trends. Right.
Economic forces at play.
It really makes you think.
Even this very human desire for connection in all its forms.
It really does. It
Yeah.
shows that even something, that might seem a little taboo on the surface, it can still offer these really interesting glimpses into a culture.
Absolutely.
Its values, its complexities, and I think it challenges us to approach these topics with nuance,
Yeah.
curiosity, and a good dose of critical thinking.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this slippery and, let's be honest, thought-provoking deep dive,
Taking a journey.
it really has.
Yeah.
What's the takeaway for our listeners? What should they keep in mind as they explore this soapy, sensual, and, okay, maybe a little scandalous corner of Bangkok?
I think the key is be curious, but don't judge.
Okay.
Be adventurous, explore, but do it responsibly.
Remember, even in a setting like a soapy massage parlor, there are real people, real stories, and it's about treating everyone involved with respect.
Beautifully put. Dive deep, but dive responsibly. Until next time, everyone, happy exploring.